Welcome to Our Girl Relationships. On this channel, we talk about problems people face in their day-to-day lives. Let's start with a video.
I'm a 20-year-old woman and my parents divorced when I was 12, so it's been 8 years since they have parted ways. Well, for this reason, my dad was an alcoholic gambler and my mom was way too much concerned about her clothes and jewelry than the house and kids. My parents had a total of 3 children, including me. When they divorced, my baby sister was 7 and brother was 4 years old, respectively. So, of course, they won't understand about this stuff and they didn't really need to. After the divorce, when it was time for the parents to get custody, my mom had my brothers and sisters full custody, and I was expected to live with my father. I didn't want to, so I refused to pick a side when I felt my mom preferred my other siblings and my father not really showing any interest in my life. When I was asked about what I wanted, I went on and started living with my grandparents, and my father was supposed to send the money to take care of me. My grandparents were really old, so my grandpa died after 2 years of me starting to live with them, and my grandmother started taking care of me all by herself. They never abandoned me or behaved mean to me, so I liked it there, back in my hometown. It was a very small area with nothing much being there, but it was peaceful. I did miss my parents a lot. I really loved them, and even at 12 years old, I made sure to do my best to have problems between my mother and father solved. But nothing changed except that they started thinking of me as clingy glue, who's selfish enough to put her own desires and not think of their happiness, which really hurt me a lot. But my only motive was to get my family together and live happily. I just didn't want to pick a side and make the other feel bad about themselves, and I was angry too at them for not putting me first. Even after everything, they were really mad at me, and they still are. My father has stopped sending money because I'm over 18 and I can take care of myself. And it's okay. I have a job and grandma isn't broke either, so we manage. We have the support money saved for my college, so everything regardless, we're really going strong. This weekend, my cousin's sister got married, and marriages are huge in my culture. So even though we're not their immediate family, we were invited, and Grandma really wanted to go because she is really old, and it's best for her to live life to her fullest and get a break that she hasn't had ever since my grandpa died. We get ready to leave for the city. In the midst of everything, I completely forgot about my parents being present there too long with my siblings, whom I haven't seen in years. We reached the city one night before and stayed at a hotel for the night. It was a really nice break for both me and my grandma, and little did I know that it was just the calmness before the storm. Next morning, we got ready and left for the wedding. I see my parents there. A single teardrop left my eyes. They were talking to each other, all smiley and giggling and looking around things. My little brother, who's 12 right now, went past me and didn't even recognize me, and it was okay. Running after him was my sister, and she's grown up to look like a model, and I'm so proud of her for taking care of my brother. Assuming she's only 16, she looks so grown up, and her voice sounds more mature. My grandma takes me to the corner by pulling my arm. I tell her about everyone, and she tells me not to stir anything with them there, as it would ruin my cousin's wedding. After a while, when the wedding's done, during the reception, my mother bumps into me and immediately recognizes me and takes me to the side to have a talk with me. I can see her wearing the same wedding ring as she used to wear before. It was kind of weird to see her wearing that ring. She wasted no time and asked me about why I was there. I just prepared myself to take her rude comments to me. My dad comes along and greets me and everything, and we talk, the 3 of us. And in between, I realized that during one of their fights after divorce, they somehow ended up getting back together and gave themselves another chance because my baby siblings wanted them to live together. Here's the thing, used to tell them the same thing, but my opinions were never considered. Ever. But my baby siblings' one request was enough. Honestly, this whole conversation made me want to die and think of myself as a failure even more. And my parents' snarky comments about me abandoning them and not being there with them when they needed me the most really, really broke my heart. I started crying, and then they made another snarky comment about my tears, which are because of regret isn't going to help me and how I will never have a place in their perfect, happy family. Everything I ever did just went into vain, and they never regretted anything about losing me, but held a grudge against me and made sure to make me miserable about everything. My grandma stepped in and told them to stop going off on me over nothing and told them I don't need them anyways, and we left them anyway. I was feeling so miserable about the whole situation. I felt bad for being the only one who tried the most and put so much effort into saving them and just being dropped because I was not enough and didn't want to pick a side and was called ungrateful. My grandma tried her best to console me. It's really not helping. Did I really do anything wrong by not picking a side? Would I have made it a difference if I had tried a little harder? I just keep on asking all these questions to myself and not getting any answers to any of these. It's just messing my mind up so much, and it all feels so difficult to live with. Let me clarify this. Me and my grandma don't struggle financially, and no, my siblings and I didn't interact much, nor do I blame anything on them or hate them. We used to be really close when we were younger, and yes, I haven't spoken to them much either, so it's normal for them to forget about me and not really care about me much. And as my grandparents were really protective of me, I never really went out, nor did I have anyone else to confide in, so it's just me and the wine. My parents came over yesterday. My grandmother was the one who told them to come along, and they did. She made us all sit together and asked us to talk and try improving the situation. She pointed about everything I went through, all the way during high school, the bullying and my mental health and everything. And I can see a little bit of sympathy in their eyes for me, but not that it made a difference, but whatever they knew went in my life because of their absence. And they defended themselves, saying I was giving a choice, but I didn't make it, which seemed so ridiculous to me that I snapped and started crying and told them how much I tried to keep them together and everything, but it didn't work anything out, as they said that they would always feel betrayed by me and never be able to form any emotional bond with me anyways. My mom made sure to point out how all their problems started after I was born and got better after I left, so maybe I was the problem in everything. At that point, I was completely done with any communication with them. Till I die, I will make sure that they never get anywhere near me and stay away from everyone. I don't care if I'm being impulsive. I just want peace. So, my sister reached out to me after hearing about all this from our parents, and they didn't tell her, but when they were discussing it, she felt like she should help me out. And more importantly, she knew a different story from my parents about how I made them choose between me and my other two siblings. It was all heartbreaking, and we talk often through text because she may get heard while talking to me and may also be sent to boarding school for that. They still remember me and everything, and now my little brother also knows the truth. And the reason why they got married again wasn't for love or something. My dad lost money and needed my mom's family support, and her family needed connection. So, for mutual interest, they got married to each other. And my father has also cheated on my mother multiple times, but she doesn't care because so has my mom. They like their messed up life together, and nothing can really help them out of it. And my sister claimed that she also tried to fix things but failed. We both consoled each other and ended up being each other's best friend and supporting one another. NTA and these people who are supposed to be your parents don't deserve anything in life. And after reading the second update, I know why they were married in the first place. Negative attracts negative, I guess. Please take up therapy and heal from all those childhood wounds inflicted upon you. And here's a piece of advice for you from my therapist, as I went through something similar in my childhood as well. So it goes, You can't heal in the same environment where you were hurt. Get out of your hometown. Live your life and enjoy it. There's so much to see and learn in the outside life, and everything will be okay eventually.
Next story.
In background, I'm a 33-year-old woman, and I'm a mom to Leah, 2, set to be married to Jim, 30, in a year. I work as a waitress. Jim is not Lee's bio dad. He hasn't been in the picture since he found out I was pregnant. My friend Sam, 32, female, married Kyle, 36, a month ago. Sam works as a school administrator. Kyle manages a warehouse. Fake names. We went to dinner. We're planning our wedding for 2023 and wanted to hear what it was like being newlyweds. They were going over everything when Sam mentioned children. She said that they were excited about trying for kids. I asked her what she meant, and she said that now that she has a house and is married, she can finally start, which they have. I told her having a house and a husband didn't mean that she shouldn't have started. TBH, I wasn't aware that she wanted kids. Her wedding was child-free, and she never jumps into conversations in our friends group when the topic is about kids. She said that she wanted to bring kids into the world when she had a healthy relationship and a house with a yard for them to play in. She said the house that they have now and moved into last year is big enough for 2 to 3 kids. I said being married doesn't mean the relationship is healthy. She said hers is, and I told her it is now, but divorce rates are high and that if they split, she'd be on her own. Kyle said that I was assuming too much. I said I wasn't, but they should think about what if it doesn't work, because that's what's happened to me. I went on to say that I love Lee, but no amount of planning could have prepared me to be a single mom. Sam said, "Well, I'm not you," to which Kyle muttered, "Thank God." Jim told Kyle to be respectful. Kyle said that he wasn't the one being disrespectful at the table. I said that if my comments hit a nerve so easily, then maybe it was a sign that they knew I was right and had a point. Sam asked if I was mad that she chose to wait for the right man to come along to produce a child, and I didn't, and that I was speaking more through regret than personal experience. I told Sam I do not regret Lee, to which she said, "No, but it certainly sounds like you regret the timing." I said the timing was fine and that I was doing fine caring for Lee, but then Sam brought up my financial issues I was having with my job. I told her not everyone can go to grad school and work when they have a family and a relationship. Sam was single for 3 years before meeting Kyle. Sam told me that was her point, that she had different priorities than me, and that's why she is where she's at and I'm stuck where I'm at. The check had already been paid, so Jim said we needed to get home to relieve the babysitter. I've told our friend group what happened, and they say that it was my fault for criticizing Sam for her choices. But I wasn't. One friend thinks Sam went too far with her comments about regret, but agreed that I sounded jealous of Sam. I'm not. Jim's family and my parents agree with us. Though, AITA? I posted this before my shift and just got off. There's over 1,000 comments, so I can't respond to everyone. So here I am addressing some things. I mentioned Sam's wedding being child-free because she specifically said that she doesn't want to be around kids on her wedding day because they're annoying. This sub allows for 3,000 character limits. Sam was going on and on about having a house and marriage makes raising kids easier, which isn't true. Sam is the type of person who thinks that since she works in education and has a master's, that she knows more than everyone. I was telling her that having kids isn't easier just because you make more money and have a house. I live in an apartment. YTA. Oh my God, a couple in their 30s that own a house and have good stable jobs are thinking of having kids. You literally told your supposed friend who just got married that she shouldn't try for kids because divorce rates are high. You sound jealous and judgmental, and I don't even understand why you felt a need to say something.
Next story.
So, I, 19-year-old woman, worked 2 jobs until last Sunday. My second job was making a crap ton of money as a waitress and was getting plenty of hours to complete the internship required at my school. However, at my first job working to goes, I was barely averaging 4 hours a day a week, and while I made $12 an hour, I only made around $15 in tips, barely enough to pay for my therapy. I had tried to get more hours and work more days a week, but they refused to schedule me, so I was forced to get a second job. I had planned on quitting within 2 weeks and being professional. Then Mother's Day happened. I was scheduled from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., and my mother was having her dinner at 7 p.m. at her favorite restaurant. I was supposed to get off work and drive 30 minutes to the restaurant and had made it clear to both managers working my shift that I had a prior engagement scheduled after my shift and needed to be out on time. I work my shift, and at 8 p.m. rolls around and a flood of orders rolls in, and I think, okay, get these orders done and I'll get to leave. I get them done in 30 minutes and then start stocking up. My manager tells me that she's going to try and get me out in the next 15 minutes. Then immediately changes her mind. I pull out my cell phone, tell my mother, and she insists I put it away or she'll take it. It's been an hour. My phone is going nuts, and we have been getting orders intermittently every 20 minutes or so, but always 2 or 3. I resort to going to the restroom to tell my mom I'm not off yet, and she tells me they've already paid the check and couldn't wait any longer, but they'll come and get me so I don't have to walk. It's been an hour and a half since I was scheduled to be off. My parents pull up, and by this point I'm pissed. My manager has given no clue as to when I'll be able to leave, and is telling me to get over whatever is wrong because the customers can tell. No, they can't. They're door dashers anyways. So I tell her I quit, and not to schedule me again, and that I don't have the time or energy to work a job that doesn't respect me or my commitments. Later, the other manager texts me and says I was unprofessional, and that I won't last long in the food industry if I'm not willing to work. She said, not in so many words, that what I did was an a-hole move, and it's been eating me inside. AITA? Thank you so much, Internet strangers. I appreciate all of you. I want to put it up here, since it's become somewhat relevant in the comments. I was scheduled to come in at 4, and they cut me anywhere from 5 to 8 p.m. In fact, the only shift I ever fully worked was Super Bowl Sunday. After fighting for more hours for around 2 months, I told them I don't need more hours. I have a second job. NTA, they are gaslighting you hard. If you were scheduled 4 to 8, you should have left at 8. It's not your job to fill in. It's the manager's job to get the schedule covered. Only unprofessional ones in the situation were the managers.